Hello, Internet. Sodom Luke and Aaron. Back here for more box office predictions for the month of August. Trying to get through these as fast as I can because there are way too many movies in August. And it's kind of pissing me off, but what am I going to do? Brian Banks. Let's talk about this real quick. So, the story of Brian Banks, I looked it up. So, this movie's going to be like one of those inspirational type movies where you got this guy who was looking to have a successful career in football, but then one thing led to another, and he was arrested and he was charged for a crime that he didn't commit. And so after he spent time in jail and probation, he's now trying to get back into the NFL, or at least try to, you know, I you know, I think that's whatever. That's basically the story in a nutshell. So let's go over his pros and cons. Pros, well, this movie's about football. I mean, this is America. Like, who doesn't know what football is? I mean, football is like the biggest sport. Like, football and basketball, those two are like the top. Sorry, baseball. Sorry, soccer. But football and basketball, those two are just up there in comparison to the rest. And football movies have done well in the past, as you see right here. I mean, Waterboy, that's obvious, and Longest Yard, those are sports comedies, which are also successful. But Brian Banks is obviously not one of those movies. It's not made by Adam Sandler, obviously. But you got The Blind Side here. But the difference between Brian Banks and the Blind Side is that The Blind Side had Warner Brothers, which is obviously a much bigger deal than Bleecker Street. And it also had Sandra Bullock, who gave that movie quite a bit of star power, and she ended up getting an Oscar for that movie. Brian Banks is more low key in comparison, which is a huge con against it because this movie is just way too small. This doesn't feel like a movie that should be on the big screen. It should be on Netflix. It should be like on Amazon Prime or something like that. It's the same issue with The Art of Racing in the Rain. These don't feel like movies that I would want to pay to see. Okay? Like, why would anyone really pay to see these movies on a big screen when you can just watch it on the TV, in your own home, which I think a majority of people will do anyway with movies like these. And another con against this movie, its release date. You got 5 movies opening the same week as this. Well, actually, really 4 against this. You got this, you got Art of Racing in the Rain, you got Dora, you got The Kitchen, and you got Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, granted, all these movies are somewhat different from each other, so it's not like they're all the same genre. But still, that's still a lot of product, and this movie will likely fall through the cracks because there's just not enough interest in it. So, box office prediction, opening weekend wise, 5 to 10 million, likely 5 million at most, and probably end at around 10 to 15, maybe 20 if it's lucky. But yeah, that's Brian Banks. That's my prediction for this movie. Not much to say, really. All right, next up, we have The Kitchen. That's going to be an interesting one. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. Want to go check out some of my other box office predictions? I have 2 playlists. I got the blockbusters and the not blockbusters. And you want to go see, and it's actually really funny looking at them now because I failed so horribly on pretty much all my predictions. So if you want to go laugh at how inaccurate I was or how wrong I was, then go right ahead. I don't mind because even I think it's completely embarrassing looking back at it now. But yeah, that's all, and I am out.